My name is Robert Rose. I'm CEO in television and executive producer of American Latino TV. And the reason we're here is because Nielsen, which draws a lot of fire from a lot of different ethnic groups. And I want to be very clear, we're not here on an anti-Nielsen campaign. We're here because there's an injustice going on. The injustice is with the Nielsen Ratings System. What it's about is representing the underrepresented. And if we don't speak for them, who will? And Latinos in this country, as everybody knows, there's about 42 million Hispanics in this country right now. And everybody knows there's a huge immigration debate not long ago, and it's still going on. And the recent elections will play out how that actually plays out. What a lot of people don't realize is that most Latinos in this country are US born. Most of them are young. Most are going to college, getting educated, and contributing to society. And the problem is, the way television is set up right now, there aren't enough shows reflecting Latinos in television. And when there's not enough shows and there's not enough characters on television reflecting the Latino experience, well, you get a very narrow slices of the Latino experience, and it happens to be an inaccurate one. And the view that is usually shared is that Latinos are either illegals, or they're the gardener or the maid, or some other terrible stereotype. And it's not that Latinos are not gardeners and maids, but they're also doctors and lawyers and athletes and soldiers, and they live and die for this country. So our shows, American Latino TV and Latin Nation, they're all about representing those people. And unfortunately, we've been around for 5 years. We've grown. We're doing quite well. But unfortunately, the times haven't caught up with our television show. So that's what we're here today to talk about. So we started an initiative called Help Change Television Research. And I hate to do it to you. Research is boring. But that's the thing that Nielsen has most going for it. People just don't want to do the work and understand what the issue is. We're going to do our best to make it easy for you guys, for the media, and for the consumer. It starts tonight with our 5th anniversary party and Help Change TV event, and it's going to continue on until Nielsen changes. We're not going away. So the facts are, guys, that this impacts general market ratings. A lot of people believe that this only impacts the Hispanic ratings and our friends at Univision and Telemundo. Not at all. It does definitely impact that. But what we're really talking about are general market ratings. And we're talking about ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. What you will hear from Nielsen, what I have heard in the past is, oh, he's just out there, AIM is just out there for their own best interest, and that we have a lot to gain if they change the ratings. Well, trust me when I say we're a small fish in a very big pond. We have very little to gain, but the industry and the consumers, they have a lot to gain, and that is the reason we're here. You'll hear a little bit about nativity and country of origin. Understand that these two things are not the same. Nativity, whether someone is US born or non-US born, as the US Census data, as the US Census counts it, US born or non-US born. Country of origin is, are you Peruvian, Mexican? What is your country of origin? There's a difference between the two, and what I've seen Nielsen do lately is try to confuse the two. And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or out of ignorance. This shouldn't be out of ignorance. There's a very big difference. What we're talking about is, this a person born in the United States, or are they not born in the United States? We've got to break it down to its simplest point, and that's it. The other thing I hear from stations and big media companies as to why they haven't jumped on board this is, and I understand it, Nielsen has other issues. There are a lot of issues right now. There's a lot of things with DVR, digital video recorders. There's a lot of things with who's actually watching a commercial. These have, right now, they have the industry's attention. What we're saying is, there is no one issue, however, that skews towards one ethnicity like this one. And this one skews towards the Latin market. It unfairly actually targets one segment of the Latin market. And it's very easily fixable. It doesn't have to be this way. And we're going to take you through it. It would be very easy to fix and make the lives of a lot of people a lot easier, including Nielsen. And the only people that would make unhappy are probably people in Spanish language television and the people that support Spanish language television. And just so we're not confused, this is not an anti-Nielsen or an anti-Spanish media campaign. There is, Spanish language media is important, it's here to stay, it's not going anywhere, it's going to continue to grow. But what you're going to see is there's a tail wagging the dog syndrome. This is about do the right thing. And we're going to take you through it and show you that Nielsen needs to do the right thing. They need to update their methodology. It hasn't been updated in 15 years, and they need to do the right thing. And finally, the slogan that you're going to hear at helpchangetv.com is, if the sample is flawed, then the results are flawed. And the reason we're hammering that home is, everybody in the industry, they know what a sample is. You take from a small sample and you project to the entire population. Consumers don't know that. So what we have to do as a consumer-driven initiative at helpchangetv.com is to break that down for the consumer and let them know what a sample is and why it's important that the sample not be flawed. Otherwise, the results are flawed. So what we're going to do right now, guys, is play you a video. This is the key component to help change the sample. It's a short video we put together to try to break it down for the consumers so that it's very simple to follow.
Nielsen Media Research is the primary rating service for monitoring TV viewing in the U.S. and reporting audience figures to the media industry, advertisers, and the press. You can learn more about Nielsen Media Research by visiting their website at nielsenmedia.com.
There's a lot riding on ratings, which determine the TV program choices you and I have as viewers. Because Nielsen Media Research is the primary provider for TV ratings in the industry, it is important that the results be as accurate as possible.
Nielsen relies on small samples to report television audience viewing nationwide. Minority and ethnic groups have an even smaller sample size that represent the entire segment's viewing habits. If the sample size is too small and it doesn't match the composition of the US, then the results will be flawed and misleading.
For example, if Nielsen decided to do a study that was made up of 90% females and 10% male, instead of matching US Census, say goodbye to sports guys. This is an oversimplification of the process to prove a point. The sample is flawed, then the results are flawed, and would mislead people to believe that Americans don't watch sports because there aren't enough males in the sample.
Currently, Nielsen does not balance the sample, will not balance its samples between the viewing habits of US-born Latinos and non-US-born Latinos. This is the most important factor that determines whether Latinos will watch television in English, Spanish language television, or some combination of both.
Because Nielsen's research is not sampled properly for US-born Latinos, the results are not accurate and send the impression that Latinos prefer Spanish TV. So why bother with the expensive programming for Latinos on English language TV?
In reality, most executives and advertisers know better, but they have no way to prove this error because Nielsen is the only industry-accepted authority on ratings. So until Nielsen changes, you'll continue to see few characters and shows that include Latinos on English language television.
This impacts our society. The result is that Latinos don't see positive role models in English TV.
And non-Latinos who may not know better assume that what they see on television is accurate. Seeing more Latinos on English language TV would help overcome stereotype and improve the understanding of Latin culture in the United States.
Latinos contribute greatly to the U.S. Latinos fight and die for our country. They are doctors, they're lawyers, they're teachers, and professional athletes.
We know that people are upset about the lack of Latinos on U.S. television. It's not fair that one multi-billion-dollar research company can contribute to the marginalization of an entire ethnic group and not be held accountable.
We've created Help Change Television so you can have your voice heard. If you'd like to change TV, sign the petition and then tell your friends.
Remember, if the sample is flawed, then the results are flawed. Viewers deserve accurate ratings. It's not just a business issue, it's a serious social issue. Sign the petition and help change television, and a whole lot more.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.